Jermall Charlo, that's the Charlo twin. That's at middleweight, who's the #1 WBC contender. Puts Danny Jacobs on blast. Put him on notice, however you want to say. He does it once again. And I've been telling you guys, hey, that boy Trill, he been calling out Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is the one, you know, they don't want to oblige the fight. May I say Eddie Hearn, but we back. It's your boy CJ Goodfella. We back in the building, full effect. It's the Boxing Clinic. Y'all know what it is. And I'll link this interview in the description so y'all guys know this trio. I told you guys way back when, shout out to Mazuma TV, he had the footage of Charlo, or, you know, he reported Charlo was at the bar saying he'd knock out Danny Jacobs and Triple G. Jermall ain't going to shy away from nothing, man. I keep telling y'all guys this. Y'all people say, who is the Charlo's beating? Who is the Charlo's beating? At the end of the day, who's signing up to fight the Charlos? He's in the #1 contender position, and Danny Jacobs could have fought him. Danny Jacobs is the #2 for the WBC, #3 for the WBC. You know, him and Jacobs could, you know, Jacobs and Charlo could have fought for the interim title belt. But basically what Eddie Hearn is doing is he said no. I already did a video where he said no Jermall Charlo several times. HBO don't want Jermall Charlo because they don't want him to, you know, go over to HBO and beat Danny Jacobs, and they invested a 5 or 6 fight deal into Danny Jacobs. You know, that's understandable. But at the end of the day, you know, take the business out of boxing. Let these two guys box. I mean, Danny Jacobs said, you know, oh, Charlo can come over to HBO and fight. No, he can't, because you didn't even call Charlo out after your last fight versus Luis Arias. Because Eddie Hearn and HBO told you not to. You was talking to him at the media workouts for Arias and Jacobs. Jacobs talking about him to Fight Hub and saying, oh yeah, the fight can happen. You know what I'm saying? This dude really willing to come to your backyard in Brooklyn, at the Brooklyn Barclays Center. He called you out again. And what Danny Jacobs gonna do? He gonna do what Eddie Hearn is doing. You know, we're gonna tell him to do, and that's basically wait it out for Triple G and Canelo, and that's a fight that's never gonna happen. You know, you could be fighting, you know, Charlo right now and be the interim title holder to the WBC and be the mandatory to Canelo Triple G winner. But at the end of the day, these guys can't take control of their career. You know, these guys don't want to take chances. Demetrius Andrade don't want to take chances even with Sergey Shevchenko. You know, and at the end of the day, man, I'm trying to tell you guys, you know, like I tell the Premier Boxing Champions guys, take control of your career. Jacobs is fighting bullshit fights, wasting his career. You know, wasting the prime of his career. You know, he's looking very good, but he see how life is short. He got caught up with cancer. He recovered. He built himself up. Now it's time for you to get a good clash. And Jermall Charlo, that's an excellent clash. You know, people want to see the Charlo shut up. You know, they mad because they know a closed mouth don't get fed. If they don't talk, y'all don't notice. And, you know, that's for real, man. All the people say, who's Charlo's fight? At the end of the day, what does it matter? If they haven't fought anybody, if this fighter A ain't shit, then why fighter B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, whatever, all the way to Z, don't want to catch that fade with him? You know, why they don't want to fight him then? You know, there's people numbers, who has he fought? At the end of the day, if he ain't fought nobody, that should be an easy victory for Danny Jacobs. It ain't like ain't nothing on the line. It's the interim title belt. You're the champion in waiting until Golovkin and Canelo is available. Instead of your HBO president, Peter Nielsen, telling you, you know what, you know, if you earn it, you know, if you create demand for Triple G, Danny Jacobs, we can make it happen. How you going to create demand for Triple G or Canelo winner? Excuse me, I said Danny Jacobs, but create demand for Triple G and Canelo winner if you fighting bums or you fighting nobody. Sullick is a solid fighter. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the guy that Sullick knocked out and Hugo Centennial Jr. is fighting for an interim title belt. And Sullick is really mandatory to Jermall Charlo at 154. He's ranked #1 at the WC at 154. So, why are you fighting Sullick? And why is even Charlo... Only reason Charlo's fighting Hugo Centennial Jr. is because it's for the interim title belt. That's the next available contender that he could fight for the WC interim title belt. What's Danny Jacobs' excuse for fighting Sullick? Does he get him closer to Billy Joe Saunders or Triple G Canelo? Absolutely not. He could have fought Danny Jacobs tonight. Well, he could have fought Danny Jacobs tomorrow night. You know, or on HBO card. Matter of fact, that would have been a better main event than Sergey Kovalev versus what the hell, you know, was going on over there. But at the end of the day, dog, these guys like Danny Jacobs, you guys, you think that's true? They hiding behind promoters, man. Oh yeah, I want to fight. I like to fight Charlo. But, you know, Eddie Hearn is telling you, oh, no, let's not do this, let's not do that. That's already discussed before you sign the contract. If a guy that you see that's a threat that's coming up and you potentially want to fight him, You know, you bring that to Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn said, "Oh no, I don't, you really want to fight him?" Eddie Hearn don't want to make it happen. Why sign with him? You know, if Eddie Hearn, he let you do what you want to do. He let Kell Brook go fight Errol Spence. He's shown if you really want to veer off the path, he'll let you veer off the path, you know? But Danny Jacobs don't want no smoke, man. He don't want no smoke with the Charlo. He trying to wait up for Canelo Triple G fight that ain't going to happen. Charlo get that fight before Danny Jacobs get that fight. If he beats Hugo Centennial Jr. You know, Duck Chronicles, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling Danny Jacobs and Eddie Hearn to duck again. Y'all can get mad, but I'm supplying the facts. It's factual when I'm speaking. Second, third time I see him call an old boy out. Danny Jacobs hiding behind Eddie Hearn like Anthony Joshua hiding behind Eddie Hearn. These guys don't want that free smoke. We out.